Okay, so no. My Gators finally fired Dan Mullen.
I'm guessing he was that bad, huh?
Yes, he was that bad, Kenny. Which my response is good. So who do we hire next? And that makes me nervous.
Ed Orgeron. Ed Orgeron. Let's go to the Florida Gators. You sound like you like that.
I don't think you should make sports predictions anymore either, Kenny.
Oh, why?
I don't like how likely that sounds.
I'm just so happy to be part of this Florida Gators organization. We're going to go out there. We're going to win some football games because that's what we do here in Florida.
No.
In the old school I was there, we won there too. But I'm going to win here in Florida more.
Please, no.
That's why we run that football, baby. Woo! That is your future. Me and these Florida Gators, man, they chomping at the bit to win some football games and maybe get a national title. That man is the real life version of Bobby Boucher's first coach. What's the matter, boy? Are you stupid to do what your coach tells you? He's the real life version of that.
Nah, he the version of cause they
If you made a joke, I missed it because it went out. Yeah, I missed it because he went out.
Again, as I was saying before, my connection rudely interrupted me. Hopefully, it doesn't again.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, cool. He's essentially the version of that motherfucker in the crowd that just be randomly talking. You didn't remember Bob Boucher? I ain't. This is also Joe Dirt.
Oh, Farmer Fran. That man is the real life version of Farmer Fran.
Only way you make it. No, I don't want that. I don't think I want that, at least.
These Florida Gators, man, they got hurt, man, and they're gonna keep playing their football. They're gonna be running the ball. We're gonna win that no championship.
It's like on the surface, I don't want it, but it might be a good idea. It might be a good fit.
But to that first loss, he said, "We lost the game. We just lost, and we're gonna win next week."
No more, please.
This was from my friend Carlos Crawford, long line Gators fan. I thank you.
Make him stop.
You come on down. You come on down to Gator round, and we give you first halftime on the 3-yard line, and you can play, and you can hear me talk to the players just like this.
Make him stop.
It sound like a drunk country man that drives a boat with a fan on the back of it. That man gonna be riding through the swamp on like a swamp boat.
I believe all of this. That's the part that pisses me off about it. Like, I don't. Can we have that there? Like, do we want that there?
Go Gators! Woo! Go Gators! Go Gators!
Wide hands. He's not even making. Oh God, no. Oh.
Go Gators! We got wide teeth. Go Gators!
Are there any other choices other than Ed Orgeron?
No, because we getting Jimbo. Shit.
Well, beats the hell out of Steve Sarkisian or fucking Lane Kiffin. That's for fucking true. So,
Ed Orgeron or Lane Kiffin? Who you want?
Ed Ogeron in a landslide.
You don't like Lane Kiffin?
No.
Well,
Nonetheless, it's Sunday. You know what that means. Live via satellite, it is Gorilla Game Podcast. I am Carlos Crawford. I actually have this cheesecake with salted caramel brownies from my homegirl Kirsten's mom's birthday. And I'm probably going to catch diabetes while eating it. This might be the meal that does it for me. We'll find out. Alongside with me is my co-host and good buddy Kenny Whitaker. What's up with you, Kenny?
I'm just so happy to be here on the Gorilla Game Podcast. I'm happy everybody that likes to participate and watch the show. I thank you for joining us today.
Man, go to hell, man. All right, so we review the This Is Your Life episode of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Are you going to do this voice all episode, Kenny?
It's a high possibility.
But first, well, no pin count this week. However, I do want to talk about the recent releases in the WWE. Yes, there are more releases in the WWE. It's like 8 more people. Hey, mamas. What's going on? My niece is in here. She's looking for stuff to steal. That's kind of her thing. But yeah, nonetheless, main release was actually, who was the main release? Skylar, who was the main release? You don't know? Say hi, Kenny.
What's poppin'?
All right. Girl, you turn off my podcast, I'm gonna body slam you.
Uh-oh. Don't threaten her with a good time.
Yeah. I got it. WWE release roster cuts. There we go. Yeah, so John Morrison. Who else? Who else?
Hit Row.
Yeah, Hit Row as a whole was gone.
Tegan Knox.
Right. She's messing with me. My niece's adorableness was distracting me. All right, so John Morrison, Hit Row, as you said. So Swerve Scott, Top Dollar, and Ashante the Adonis. Tegan Knox, Drake Maverick again, Shane Thorne, reasonable, and Jackson Riker, also reasonable. Were all released. I mean, I said that they were going to release Hit Row eventually.
I'm rubbing off on you.
I said this 3 episodes ago, bro. I saw this coming. Why? Because at this point, I've started to notice a pattern that WWE does before they make these releases.
Mm-hmm. What pattern? And what pattern is that, Carlos?
It's a pattern of they push them to the main roster. They give them little to nothing to do, so they fall back into the shadows. They're doing nothing for weeks on end. You see them as a comedy relief act, and then these roster cuts happen, and they're on the list.
So, what process is Asuka on?
I have no fucking clue because I have not heard from Asuka. Oh, yeah. The comedy caricature. God damn. Right. Yeah, it's a matter of time for Asuka.
But you didn't hear it from me. I didn't say it.
I mean, the thing is though, like Asuka at this point has made herself into one of those wrestlers where wherever she goes, her fans go. So I'll watch Asuka in New Japan. I'll watch her in AEW. I'll watch Impact just for Asuka. Speaking of which, Bronson Reed is in Impact. Mm-hmm. So it goes.
Bad choice to pick.
Bobby Fish in AEW. Kyle O'Reilly's contract runs out within the next few months. Or I think by years.
All we waiting on now is Roderick Strong.
Like, bro, come on.
It's about to be Super Click versus a New Era.
And for real, if AEW Dark was on an actual channel as opposed to on YouTube, I feel like A, it'd do better numbers. B, it give these wrestlers that aren't on the main shows a bit of a spotlight.
Yeah.
Or a little bit more of a spotlight than they're already getting on YouTube. Then not only that, you got wrestlers on AEW Dark just farming wins. That way they're just throwing wins up in the win-loss column in order to get onto the main card on the shows and such. So it's like the system there is kind of like it's a little bit tough now that they're starting to like balloon in wrestlers. Like even Kara Hogan said that she's starting to get lost in the shuffle. But on the other side of things, it's like it could still work out in my book, because again, you got people on Dark and they're picking up wins. They start streaking, start putting these wrestlers on the main roster. If you're not going to put them in the main storyline, put them in these one-off matches. Maybe they will develop a rivalry in these one-off matches. So Kenny, this is why we need to it might almost be time we start our own wrestling promotion. It's time you pull the trigger on that, Kenny. Now's the time.
I pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, because this is your brainchild. I'm just creative.
Well, things like that take time, my friend.
Yeah, I'm just saying, start the groundwork.
What you think I've been doing? I've been starting the groundwork for a lot of things.
Okay. However,
man of many talents.
However, I'm just like upset about John Morrison for real. I didn't even want John Morrison back. I didn't care if he came back or not, but I know how good of a wrestler he is. So it's like, how can WWE not figure him out, but he can go to other promotions and be a hit?
Because they're trash, and just like they couldn't figure his wife out, even though she had a good character coming in. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Is he married to you?
I think it's Frankie Monet.
Oh yeah. Oh, it even says Morrison's wife, Taya Valkyrie, who wrestled as Frankie Monet, was released on November 4th. Yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Tegan Knox got called up to the main roster to team up with Shotzi Blackheart just to get the team broken up. Like, it's just wasting time here, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like at this point, we're getting to a point where WWE is doing a bunch of controversial stuff to where once they get to a point where it's like, all right, we're starting to do a little better now. We're starting to be a little more stable. People are going to be like, well, at this point, we're kind of over it.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many aspects to WWE where you're just like, it's too much. Whether it's, the rules, I mean, like the unspoken, but like unknown rules that us, audience members don't know. Whether it's the politics of the company, it's just it's starting to grow stale. And I'm getting to a point where I'm like, save these superstars that are on that roster still, that are actually good, because that's all they got right now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. However, Kenny, let's go back to a much simpler and fun time of the WWE. We go back to, I want to give you that exact. Here we go. Monday Night Raw from September 27th, 1999. Kenny, this is the Rock, This Is Your Life episode. The segment where Mankind brings out the people in the Rock's life and the Rock just outright rips on them.
Yes.
A couple of Wrestling Observer notes that I actually got. Yeah. All right. So the WWF is now tied up in two more lawsuits. First off, WWF filed a lawsuit against Playboy magazine over the second Sable issue. WWF attorney Jerry McDevitt said the two sides had been negotiating a deal for Playboy to use the name Sable for the magazine, but they never actually reached an agreement before Playboy just went ahead and did it anyway. So WWF is suing for a percentage of the revenue. Playboy is also planning to put out a 96-page issue next month solely dedicated to Rena Mero that will be called The Woman Formerly Known as Sable, and WWF is trying to get an injunction to prevent that. Also, maybe they succeeded at this. Who remembers? I don't know. The WWF did WWF rob of us even more Sable / Playboy material? Yeah, probably. The lawsuits. Okay. Yeah. All right, here we go. The other lawsuit came from Nicole Bass. You got a problem? Who sued the company for $120 million for sexual harassment. Then went on Howard Stern talking about it. On the surface, it seemed to many like a publicity stunt. After seeing all the media attention Sable got for hers, Bass claimed she was groped and humiliated and claimed an unnamed male wrestler grabbed her breasts and threatened her if she complained about it, later alleged to be Steve Lombardi, the Brooklyn Brawler. This motherfucker stay losing. And also claimed that she was hit by a non-gimmick guitar that cut her, but they wouldn't allow her to go to the hospital and instead super glued the cut shut. Actually, that seems plausible too. We listened to Dark Side of the Ring, Sabu. Yeah. WCW Nitro hit an all-time low this week. The overrun Ric Flair versus DDP main event did a horrendous 1.73 rating. It's the lowest rated Nitro main event in the history of the show. And what makes it even more incomprehensible is that the competition wasn't an issue. The Monday Night Football game was already a blowout at that point. And the rating that Raw did during that segment was a 6.65, which is good, but not any different than usual. That was just funny as shit to me. Okay. I'm trying to make sure these shits are online. All right, cool. So, speaking of WCW news, as you can imagine, things are a little more chaotic backstage in WCW with lots of people maneuvering and politicking for power now that Bischoff is gone. Kevin Nash, Dusty Rhodes, and Kevin Sullivan are mostly handling the booking. Nash has blamed his failed tenure as booker so far on Bischoff, saying he prevented Nash from pushing younger guys and always insisted on pushing Hogan as a top star, and now that Bischoff's gone, Nash is said to be planning to create new stars. Hogan is also angling for more power over booking. When isn't he? As are both Jimmy Hart and Ric Flair. As far as morale goes, things are said to be a lot more relaxed and peaceful with Bischoff gone, but there's not necessarily any hope that things will change either. It just goes downhill from there. Notes from Nitro. The show opened with a great match and angle with Psychosis, Juventud Guerrera, Mysterio, and Kidman, leading to a mask versus hair match next week between Psychosis and Kidman. Psychosis lost his mask last week in Mexico, so the rest is predictable, but it was still really well done. The crowd was hot for it. They were also nuclear hot for Goldberg. Sting and Benoit was good too. In fact, most of the show was pretty great. They just lied to us then. This must be from another. All these are mixed up. In which I'll give you the extra news at this point. Kevin Nash is going through a divorce at this time. Tori Wilson has a 3-year contract in the WCW and gets to fly first class, which almost no one except the top guys have. Ric Flair's daughter, Megan, is getting married next week. Sorry, Conrad. Scott Steiner's back in terrible shape. And in other news, Minoru Suzuki, who hasn't fought in almost a year, will make his return in Pancrase in December. It goes poorly for him, but if he asks, I never said that. So that was that on that. Now, to bring you to the actual episode itself, we open up with a vignette earlier that day of Vince meeting with the referees on strike. They've finally come to an agreement. Wait a minute. What was that about again? It was something like
something about they weren't feeling safe. I guess they kept getting beat up in matches.
Hey, in retrospect, that's a funny ass angle. I said also one of these refs look like Teddy Long. So we kick things off with our new WWF champion, Triple H, along with Chyna. 1, 2, Sassoon. I said Chyna's so pretty, man. She was. The game overcame the odds at Unforgiven and defeated 5 other men, as well as Stone Cold Steve Austin, to become champion. Triple H addresses the hostile crowd, telling them that every time he holds up the WWE title, they can kiss his ass. I proved to the world and we're in my league.
That's funny you said that because I said Triple H's heel work has always been amazing.
Triple H proclaims himself to be the best game in the world right now. Also, the sweetest part of the title victory is that Stone Cold had to count the 1, 2, 3. Triple H plans on making Austin the last notch of on his belt of success and will not be able to sleep until he beats him in the middle of the ring. The British Bulldog interrupts and he has something to say. Bulldog thinks they should forget about Austin because they had a deal. And if either one of them had won the title, the other one would get the title shot first. I said, British Bulldog's still alive at this point. All right. No shirt, blue jeans era. He was going crazy. And he had like a line called him Mr. Game Boy. I said, he's not even an actual console. You hate to see it. So Triple H said he lied to Bulldog, refused to challenge. Bulldog doesn't like that answer, threatens to beat his ass either now or later tonight. Triple H says, screw you, and a brawl breaks out. Chyna distracts, allowing Triple H to hit a low blow from behind. The referees run in to break it up, and we're joined by Vince McMahon. Vince orders Triple H to defend the WWF title later tonight against The Rock. Triple H doesn't like that ruling one bit. Yeah, I figured he wouldn't. So then we get a replay from Sunday Night Heat where the fabulous Moolah beat the shit out of Ivory. I don't know why, but why not? Jeff Jarrett and Cat are in cahoots with Tom Pritchard. Jeff Jarrett was cutting a promo. I said, God, I hate Jeff Jarrett so much. So,
and I said, hey, look, it's Los' favorite wrestler, Jeff Jarrett.
Fuck you.
That's J-E-double-F-J-A-double-R-E-double-C.
I hate you. Mankind has presents and balloons and a mystery person under a hood. Stephanie McMahon and Tess are tuxedo shopping for their wedding. Tess looks pretty sharp and Stephanie is simply glowing. Boy, how fast life comes at you. Jeff Jarrett, accompanied by the Cat and Tom Pritchard. I hate these motherfuckers so much. Come to the ring for some talking. Last night at Unforgiven, Deborah returned and cracked the guitar over Jarrett's head. Jarrett grabs a mic and has more insulting things to say about women, because when didn't he? Jarrett announces a battle of the sexes match of him and Pritchard versus Chyna and Deborah. Yeah, well, that doesn't sound stupid at all.
And I wrote, I bet you Carlos is loving this right now.
Big Show versus Chris Jericho's up next. Well, also, yeah, you know I got you. So, Jericho has a microphone and brags about ending Ken Shamrock's career unforgiven. Jericho calls Big Show a waste of sperm and vows to end his career. Chris Jericho also called Ken Shamrock Ken Scamrock, which had me hollering. Also, who the hell is Chris Hughes? And what was he doing with Chris Jericho?
Some bum.
However, you will never, ever bore these Jericho-holics again. I said, yeah. Like, again. Jericho's quick, but Big Show tosses him into the air anyway. Prince Albert joins commentary to keep an eye on Big Show. Mr. Hughes extracts. Oh, it's Mr. Hughes. Why did you say that? Distracts Show on the apron, allowing Jericho to score with some kicks. Jericho wraps himself around Show's arm for a submission, but Show deadlifts him into a counter. Show goes for the chokeslam from hell, but the referee calls for the bell because Prince Albert is on the top rope. We have a disqualification 2 minutes and 10 seconds to this match, and Prince Albert delivers a missile drop kick on the Big Show.
Also, Chris Jericho before that called Big Show a living waste of sperm. That made me laugh a lot.
Yes. The observer note said, I'm speechless. This match was all angle. I said, Prince Albert missile drop kick Big Show like I imagine you doing a missile drop kick, Kenny.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
See that?
So Chris Jericho thinks he's out of the woods, but he's attacked by Road Dogg, who he'd recently injured. Mr. Hughes takes the punishment while Jericho flees through the side. Mankind is hanging out with his mystery guest. He's joined by Stevie Richards, dressed as Dude Love. Richards wants to be the Dude Love, which cracks Mankind up. Stevie thinks the dude is a chick magnet, so Mankind tells him to have fun. Mankind goes, you can't be Mankind. I cut it to my royalties. Meanwhile, Chyna cuts a promo warning Deborah to stay out of her way. I said word. Stone Cold Steve Austin is storming the backstage area. Chyna says no one will stop her from getting in the ring with Jeff Jarrett and Tom Pritchard. She warns her teammate Deborah to stay out of her way. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes to the ring to a thunderous ovation. The glass breaks, rattlesnakes in the building. Stone Cold's walk is so fucking cool. God damn, what a fucking storm to the ring, dog. That's a walk. That's a walk with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? That purpose means I'm ready to fuck some shit up. You know what I mean?
All right.
Austin says he was pissed off to find out that Triple H was scheduled to defend the WWF title against The Rock. Austin once was his and demands that Mr. McMahon come to the ring and explain himself. Vince thanks Austin publicly for reinstating him as WWF chairman, but reminds him that he didn't say exactly when he'd get his title shot. Austin has the murder in his eyes, so Vince assures him that he'll get a shot at the No Mercy pay-per-view, no matter who the WWF champion is. Austin says a No Mercy shot had better happen, or he'll go back to kicking Vince's ass ways. I'll go back to his kicking Vince's ass ways. Is it fair enough? Now we get GTV, shows a Mean Street Posse hanging out in towels along with Terry Reynolds. It looks like she had sex with all of them in exchange for a favor. Joey Abs and Roddy refuse and tells her to go take a hike. Pete Gas is upset with the other two. I guess he didn't get his turn. I said Terry got ran through by Mean Street Posse. You hate to see it. Ski, whoa. Ski, whoa. So we got D'Lo Brown versus Steve Blackman for the European Championship next. I said, oh, here it goes.
I said Steve Blackman versus D'Lo Brown, yawn, piss break.
Looking at the real deal now.
I definitely said yawn, piss break. It's like I don't want to.
Wow. Wow. I said, oh, Phil, why did D'Lo Brown walk like that? I can't even do the fucking walk. Oh, man. So Jaws hops on commentary as the bell rings. This asshole says, I'm just trying to get my face on TV. I said, you're on commentary, Jaws. You're not on TV, you asshole. Blackman throws a drop kick, but D'Lo retaliates with a hurricanrana. D'Lo hits his patent leg drop for a 2 count. D'Lo hangs Blackman on the ropes, and they spell the ringside. Blackman sends Brown crashing into the steps and start unloading with a kendo stick for the DQ loss at 1 minute and 45 seconds. These are relatively short matches. Not bad at all.
Which is why I said, yawn, piss break.
Yeah, that's enough time to take a piss.
Yep.
Observer Note said, like I've said, no one really wanted to be European champion.
Exactly.
I said, yeah, that's for true.
Yep.
Oh my. Yeah. If only this had walnuts. Woo. Woo. However, winner via DQ, D'Lo Brown. Steve Blackman attacks the head of security, and Draws head attacks D'Lo Brown. I said, fuck the security, Steve Blackman.
Man.
Draws attacks D'Lo Brown. Draws pukes on Brown and seems satisfied. I said, this motherfucker really earled on D'Lo. This match is a fucking mess. Mark every time.
I returned to, oh, you got threw up on. I'm glad I took a piss.
Mark Henry comes out and tries to make nice with D'Lo, but he's not having any of it. Fair enough. Mankind has even more presents and balloons, and it looks like he's headed to the ring with his mystery guest. During the commercial, he bumps into Steve Austin, who seems appropriately unimpressed. Like, Mankind's like, hey, Steve, we're about to do we're about to have a celebration for The Rock. Would you like to come along? Stone Cold's like, no, thank you, Mankind, but thanks for inviting me. I said, well, Stone Cold was very nice to Mankind there. I was very congenial, Stone Cold. However, we get to the This Is Your Life segment. Mankind comes to the ring for the infamous This Is Your Life segment. Foley feels bad about applying the mandible claw on The Rock at Unforgiven and wants to make it up to him. The Rock comes to the ring and said he doesn't need any apology. I said, motherfucking $500 shirts. Let's fucking get it. Mm-hmm. I said, this motherfucking time. So The Rock reminding us where the show is by proclaiming he's finally back in aforementioned location. You know how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, The Rock. Yeah. Mankind announces to Rock that that this is his life and cues the music, fireworks, balloons, and confetti. Foley introduces his first guest, Mrs. Griffith, The Rock's 6th grade English teacher or home economics. Who cares? Teacher. The Rock
the graphic prop.
The Rock reminisces that all he wanted to do in her class was make pancakes, but she wouldn't let him. She was probably going to let him make the pancakes, but then it turned out she was out of syrup. The Rock throws all his catchphrases at her out of bitterness that he couldn't make his precious pancakes. I said that home ec teacher should have just let this motherfucker cook his goddamn pancakes back in high school. Now she catching all 16 of this nigga's catchphrases. I'm not laughing hardly at that. I'm laughing hardly at the next part. So Mankind's next guest is The Rock's old football coach, Mr. Hart. Rock seems bemused and tells a story about when Rock used wrestling holds to beat up a quarterback. The coach punished Rock by making him do sprints, which has apparently scarred the Rock for life. So I said the idea I just came up with of this coach being Ed Ogeron instead has me gasping for air.
Yeah, look at Rock, always believed in your talent and everything that you had to do, I'm glad to have you on the team. You gotta go out there and run that hill and push those weights and push that sled. Go Canes. Go Canes. You got to be a bull out there, a Brahma bull. You got to be a Brahma bull out there, Rock.
I wish they did bring Ed Ogeron out there to the ring. Ron told the story to Ed Ogeron. Yeah, I remember that day, boy.
Yeah, I remember the day your dad came to the facility and telling us how great you were, and I just knew you was gonna be something, boy. I didn't think it was gonna be in football, but I knew it was gonna be something.
Oh shit! I need a timeout, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead and let your brother let know that I was actually on that coach staff and how I make it.
Oh God. So, oh man, The Rock suggests that Mr. Hart should shove his whistle up his ass, and in what fashion? Shining it up real nice, turn this some bitch sideways. So Rock at this point has had enough of this bullshit since he's had a title match to prepare for, and that's why he's out here in the first place. Mankind tries to steal a catchphrase and gets put in his place, prompting a huge Rocky chant. It's not over though. Foley has another guest, The Rock's old high school sweetheart, Joanne. So when they introduced her, it was like, "Hey Rocky, do you remember this voice?" And then it was like a woman's voice, but it kind of sounded like Chyna. But hey, wait a minute. So I was like, hey, wait a minute, that voice don't match that lady. Because when it came out, I was like, no, this doesn't add up at all. So
hilarious.
Rock isn't happy to see her either. Turns out she cut The Rock off on second base.
You cut The Rock off on second base. Rocky should be running bases. She playing football. That's the problem.
JR goes second base. King goes, Tataki! Ah, I knew it! So then I go, how you tell my man is still for second and pick him off, right? Like, how does that work? Also, I didn't figure out what Poontang Pie was until The Rock's 2010 turn. 2010 run. Like, oh, all right, that makes more sense. I was a little older. It's like, all right, I'm getting pussy now, so it's like that makes a lot more sense. Poontang Pie. Yeah. I want to start saying pussy like that now. Poontang Pie. So so then Rock speculates that she's willing to serve some Poontang Pie now, but tells her to Poontang her ass out of here. I bet there's a lot of Democrats in Connecticut that would love that clip. Okay, all right, Observer. Yeah. Mankind defends himself, saying that he didn't know how awful the people in Rock's life had been. It's time for The Rock to open his presents. The first gifts are custom Rock and sock shirts, so they'll look more like a team. The second gift is a Mr. Rocco puppet. I said, Kenny probably saw these jackets and was like, damn, these are kind of crazy. Establishing who's the Foley out of us two. So
those jackets were dope. I don't care what you're talking
about. Yeah, exactly. And so then finally it's time. It turns out the mystery guest under the blanket is Yerple, the clown.
Yerple.
I said, between this and Business Hospital visit, Mankind been keeping Yerple the clown's lights on, dog.
All right.
So Yerple puts a stick and a lay on the Rock, who quickly brushes them off. Rock starts scolding poor Yerple, which really upsets Mankind, seeing as he put a lot of work into this party. Yerple sings happy birthday as a giant cake is wheeled to ringside, in which The Rock reminds Foley that his birthday is May 2nd, which is actually kind of funny because that's a shoot. The Rock's birthday is on May 2nd. Finally, Triple H comes in swinging a sledgehammer and chases The Rock and Mankind out of the ring. I guess the crowd is sad to see the end as they chant asshole at the game. I know the segment has gone down as a classic Raw moment, partly due to the huge rating it drew, but at a whopping half hour, this was brutal to sit through. For you, Wrestling Observer. For you. Foley and Rock's personalities held it together, but I was ready for this to end well before it did. Yeah, Mr. Snarky motherfucker. I personally said best segment in WWE history, and not only is it as long as its own standalone episode, but it literally separates the first hour from the last hour. And that's why I love this so much. So, we go into Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn, the new tag team champions. They come to the ring and issue an open challenge to anyone that's a team, any team who wants to prove themselves. Hardcore and Crash Holly are watching on a monitor, and it looks like they're going to accept. Coming back from the commercial, Kane's music hits, and it looks as though the New Age Outlaws will have to deal with X-Pac and Kane. So now we get the tag team championship match of Road Dogg and Billy Gunn versus Kane and X-Pac. X-Pac and Road Dogg start things off with a handshake because it's gang shit. First of all, let's go back real quick. I want to say that Kane and X-Pac's entrance was dope as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime Kane had a tag team entrance, his entrance just matched up perfectly. I don't know how. I don't understand how. It just did. Oh shit. There we go. They lock up, and the Hollies should show up at ringside with their scale. You remember that fucking scale? That rigged ass scale. Hardcore Crash join commentary and are upset that they missed their opportunity to accept the open challenge. Mr. Ass tags in and overpowers X-Pac. Kane tags in and pummels Mr. Ass into the corner. Big boot by Kane, but Road Dogg prevents a choke slam. All four men are in the ring already. X-Pac gets crushed on the turnbuckles, and Kane gets clotheslined to the floor. The look to finish X-Pac. And the NAO. I don't know what the NAO. Look to finish X-Pac. The New Age Outlaws. They look to finish X-Pac when Holly Cousins running for the DQ. Fuck you. When the Hollies for the DQ at 225. That was yet another match that was more angle than match. Winners via DQ, Road Dogg and Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn.
The NAO. The NAO. What is that?
All right. X-Pac and Kane fight off the Hollies with a chokeslam and Bronco Buster. X-Pac make nice with the New Age Outlaws as Kane hangs back. We get a backstage interview with Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah. They feel that Ivory should respect their elders. I said, Jerry Springer is interviewing Mae and Moolah, first and foremost. Second of all, Mae Young was always with the shits, dog. So then they got a Coast Guard of the Week. I said, I don't remember this sponsor. Oh, give me a second. So we get to the evening gala match for the women's championship. No, it wasn't for the women's championship.
Woo!
The women's champion Ivory was involved in it versus Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. Observer starts off by saying, I don't want to watch this. Yeah, no, we're doing it though. So Ivory attacks Moolah from behind and gets taken down by Young. Ivory snap mirrors Young with her scarf. Another snap mirror by Ivory. This is getting uncomfortable to watch already. Mae Young delivers a power slam and goes for the cover. I go, I want to go back for my note. I was like, I also am sure this is not Ivory's music. Because if you recall me saying, I don't remember that sponsor. I don't remember this being Ivory's music either. However, Tina Ferrari forever.
Hilarious.
Mae Young delivers a power slam, goes for the cover, forgetting the rules of the match. Ivory gets caught by a Moolah clothesline, and Young applies a chin lock. Ivory strips Young out of her gown and dumps her to ringside. This is so tasteless. However, I said, LMAO, Ivory is so good working with senior citizens. I said, Mae Young trying to bump over the ropes is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life, and I completely forgot I witnessed it live. So this motherfucking King goes, I think I just saw puppies. I mean prunes. Oh man. Moolah aggressively goes after Ivory and pulls her gown off for the win at 249. Say what you will about the PG era, but embarrassing shit like this doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, fair enough. I was like, I'm looking at both Mae and Moolah work, and you can really tell Mae was a teacher, but Moolah was a star.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Also, Ivory and the G string got me bricked up.
Wow.
Moolah stripped Ivory down and said, God damn, Tina Ferrari. Yo, hold on. She was looking right. That joint was the right amount of thickness, dog. Like, that joint was like, yeah. Tina Ferrari forever, dog. I said, Chyna keeping me. I'm not finishing that. She's no longer with us.
Whatever. I said, I know Chyna may not be here, but her spirit lives on.
I miss Chyna. Jeff Jarrett, the Cat, Tom Pritchard return to the ring. Jarrett doesn't think Chyna is coming, so he said this proves his point that women are only good for three things: Chyna cuts him off and says she'll only fight if Jarrett agrees to give her an IC title match if she pins him tonight. Thus beginning that. Val Venus is using Mr. Rocco to stuff his junk backstage. He swings high, obviously. You hate to see that.
You hate to see it.
Oh man. But yeah, she'll only fight if Jarrett agrees to give her an IC title match if she wins. So Jarrett goes, maybe he doesn't, Chyna. So first of all, the cat had everything out. I said, God damn.
Yeah.
Deborah does a strip tease on the apron. Pritchard is distracted, allowing Chyna an advantage. Jarrett quickly goes for the figure 4 on Chyna, but Deborah breaks it up. The cat attacks Deborah, and we have a cat fight. Chyna delivers a low blow on Jarrett in the chaos, and Pritchard cracks the guitar over Chyna's head, but she lands on Jarrett in a pinning position for the win at 1 minute and 10 seconds. They say terrible, absolutely terrible. I laughed. So I enjoyed it. Old Stone Cold joins commentary for the main event. We get the WWF Championship match. Triple H with Chyna versus The Rock. How she recovered from that guitar shot so fast, who knows?
Don't treat her like a woman and don't treat her like a man.
Hey, I don't know. So they begin brawling right away as the bell rings. Triple H stomps a mud hole, but Rock retaliates with a series of strikes in the corner. Rock whips Triple H over the ropes to ringside. They brawl through the crowd just as they did on the last SmackDown. I said, sometimes everything these days looks so clean. I look at this episode and remember why I thought this shit was real up to a certain point. Like, if I was really running the fade, like, yes, bro. Like, did it seem unrealistic that The Rock can, like, step back, spit in his hand for one more shot? Yeah, but when they were actually, like, really brawling it out and shit like that, it was like, oh shit, these motherfuckers really don't like each other. Like with fucking Edge and Matt Hardy, did you think that it was a work, or did you think it was a shoot? You couldn't tell. Because these motherfuckers were really running that fade.
I put in I remember I said, look at them clean rock patches. Remember, I used to fight like that back in the school days. It didn't work very well. I had to switch it up.
You try to hold motherfuckers' hands like.
No, I was just punching, and every time I would just. Yeah. But I do it real fast so I wouldn't get hit. It's like.
Well, my thing was I didn't go open palm spit. Like, I made the punch, and when I made the punch hard, I made it hard enough to the point where they got to recoil back. So it's enough time for me to go spit on the back of my hand, and I turn around, catch one more. I stopped doing that after people started realizing that I did that in fights. So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
That stopped around middle school.
Yeah, that stopped. It's like, we're not doing that anymore.
So, Triple H delivers a suplex in the ringside area. They resume a crowd brawl and find themselves in a penalty box. They head back to the ring with Triple H in the driver's seat. They block finishers, and Rock catapults the game into the turnbuckles. DDT by The Rock gets a 2 count. Samoan drop by The Rock gets another near fall. Triple H gets clotheslined over the rope, and they brawl right in front of the announce table where Austin is intently watching. Triple H grabs a chair, but the ref take it. Triple H clocks the referee and delivers a chair shot to The Rock. Triple H trash talks Austin, prompting the rattlesnake to rush the ring. Austin unloads on Triple H and nails a stunner. Rock pops up for the rock bottom. And crowd is going absolutely crazy for this. I said that stunner rock bottom combo kind of makes me wish they were like a tag team.
Yeah.
So Rock struggles to make the cover, and the referee slowly counts, but the British Bulldog runs in and attacks The Rock for DQ at 7 minutes and 12 seconds. I said, how come every time Triple H in the ring with a nigga, it takes someone 3 hours to cover for a pin? You tell me. However, it's amazing how hot the crowd was for such a rushed, disjointed match. But I suppose these guys were at the hottest points in their careers, so I shouldn't be surprised. Winner via DQ The Rock. God, what a snooty bitch. That's where the show cuts off for me. I imagine Austin was a done dish now stunners. Probably not. Final thought on the wrestling site. This was a historic Raw just for the legendary Rock Mankind segment that ended up drawing the highest rating in the history of Raw. Otherwise, there are a lot of tasteless crap and embarrassing, sleazy happenings with the women. That's what was going on at the time, bro. It is what it is, and it bees what it bees. If you don't like it, just ignore that portion of it or skip over it. But it's on the motherfucking show.
Listen, I understand that we talking about women's rights and that's things wrong. But as a man, I always enjoy seeing tatas.
That's not the point. The point of the matter is like, yo, it happened. All right, it happened. But we got the motherfucking most watched segment in wrestling history out of it. So it's gift, curse, good with the bad. So I did like that they wasted no time setting up a main event for the next pay-per-view. Exactly. As I'm really interested in seeing that Triple H Austin match in the context of the storyline. Thumbs in the middle. You silly bitch. So for me, that was because I can make fun of this shit. But I sat and watched the majority of that episode in laughter for the simple fact that, like, did we have, even gown matches and shit like that? Sure. But there was also comedy in that too. It's a, young spry woman in a beef with 2 old women. That's just hilarious to me. You know what I'm saying? like it's like a motherfucking like a housewife just beefing with their in-laws. That's funny as shit to me. So it's like, was the evening gown match needed? No. If they gave him an actual match, they probably would have like tore the house down because Ivory can work. And Ivory can work with senior citizens. And then in particular, these senior citizens can still work.
Yeah.
So if you actually gave them a chance to actually put out a match, like a little 5-minute segment at least, yeah, that would have worked out. That probably would have worked out. But then you think of Mae Young trying to bump over the rope through the ropes, and it's like, yeah, that's probably why they ended up in the evening gown match.
Yeah. Yo.
Final thoughts, Kenny?
It is hot in my room, and I am ready to get some air.
I have to go to the goddamn grocery store after this. I don't feel like it, but I need to get that done before I tune in the Survivor Series, in which I'm going to be like passively watching Survivor Series because I'm going to be playing video games as I do that. I don't care. I don't. All right. Like again,
I might sleep to Becky versus Charlotte and Big E versus Roman.
I'm not gonna fall asleep because like I'm gonna be wide awake and kicking it, but otherwise, like I barely want to watch it. Again, I'm just going through the motions just to stay in touch with the company, I guess you could say. But it's like I don't want to sit here and watch Big E put up a valiant effort just to at the end get squandered and lose to Roman Reigns. Like I don't want to do that, man. I don't. And it's one thing if like Big E actually wins the match, then it's like all right, they're finally either putting cracks in Roman Reigns' shield or they're just like finally throwing motherfuckers a bone real quick. But regardless, yeah. I'm tired of James Harris from Why Did I Get Married being Universal Champion. Lie to me and tell me that's not how he sounds and acts.
I'm not.
So, y'all did this.
Yeah.
Other than that, my final thought is motherfuckers are panicking about the Lakers. I know this is a wrestling oriented episode this week, but I just like to throw that out there. Motherfuckers are panicking about the Lakers. And it's like, on one side of the fence, what do you think was going to happen? But on the other side of that fence, we haven't even gotten to All-Star Weekend yet. We shouldn't really be panicking yet.
Correct.
You really want to hit the panic button? Wait till the end of January, beginning of February. If they still haven't gotten their shit together by then you can hit the panic button. But otherwise, it's like, yo, these motherfuckers are old.
Correct.
Then not only that, y'all pretty much made your starting five a pickup team.
Yeah.
What did y'all think was going to happen? Oh, y'all think that they were so good they weren't going to be beaten? Delusion.
Correct.
Y'all gotta start being honest with yourselves, Lakers fans. I'm just saying.
This has been a great team in 2008.
Cause right now y'all look like the goddamn Washingtonians trying to buy yourselves a Super Bowl ring.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yep. All right, bring it home, Kenny.
That being said, my name is Kenneth Whitaker, aka Hendrick Solo, the original owner of the Millennial Falcon. I had to get close so you could hear me very, very closely. And
23 skidoo, 24, 25. I'm realizing these are walnuts drizzled onto the caramel.
oh man, you just realizing that you got your messages on the caramel?
I want to let you try that one more time.
A lot of me say you don't like nuts drizzled with caramel. As you continue to eat it. AKA the last Black Jedi. Do not. There is no try. Like you try me, I'm gonna make sure that I throw a brownie at your face, just so I can say I threw a brownie at your face.
Okay.
Nothing Star Wars related at all. I just want to throw a brownie. AKA Nacho Man, I'm a savage. Yeah. See, the one thing you gotta remember, me, Gene, is that the Nacho Man is always prepared for adversity. Yeah, you dang going right. You gotta remember a lot of these things because you need to understand that the Nacho Man doesn't always remember things, me, Gene. Can you remember the state capital of Mexico, me, Gene? Do you know what that happens to be?
I believe that's Monterey.
No, I think it's Albuquerque. Maybe I know a little more than you. Sure you want to do this job? But anyway, the Nacho Man is always on top and never worried about a thought because when a thought comes into his crops, I just go to the very top and apply a mean diving elbow drop. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nacho Man, I'm a Savage, live at a canteen in Guadalajara. Back to you, Gorilla.
None of your geography, Mean Gene. Yeah. AKA the very sexual, Very tight.
Very tight, yes.
Austin Powers, Faja.
Wait, is Faja?
That is Faja.
Ah.
Hey, doctor, you have something on. Oh, I know. It's called a Belgian dip. That's how we do down Belgium. He drunk the coffee and stuck his whole nose. And this. Mini loves chocolate. The Scotty Doe.
Ladies and gentlemen, get it in. That was your last one, wasn't it? All right.
I don't have that many anymore. Unless you
No.
want me to step through the time machine.
No.
I think it's only right that I, Vincent Kennedy, black man, explain to you people what I'm releasing all your so-called favorite superstars. Oh, just when you thought you didn't want me around. Look at the joy on your face that it's bringing. To make you laugh. That's what I did to Austin when he beat me in that cage match at St. Valentine's Day Massacre. What a maneuver that was!
I hate you. Bring it on home. My name is Crawford, aka participating in the Elimination Chamber match in ugly ass brown tights. It's Chin Music Charlie. AKA Oh Stone Cold. What? I was hoodwinked.
What?
Bamboozled.
What?
Flabbergasted.
What?
Eliminated.
What?
Oh Stone Cold isn't going to WrestleMania to face the champ.
What?
That's the bad news.
What?
You want the good news?
What?
The good news is
what?
Oh Stone Cold is going to WrestleMania.
What?
To whip somebody's ass.
What?
I said whip somebody's ass.
What?
Brothers and sisters, are you with me?
What?
I'm going to torture somebody.
What?
I'm going to bloody somebody.
What?
Do you understand me?
What?
Brothers and sisters, are you with me?
What?
Old Stone Cold is going to WrestleMania.
What?
And I'm going to whip up man's ass. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
A lot of what's in that segment. I forgot how many were. What?
Brothers and sisters, are you with me? Now I want to do that whole segment again since I got my Stone Cold voice right.
I hate Austin.
Are you with me? Bamboozled.
No, I'm not.
Flabbergasted.
I'm not doing it again.
I'm gonna whip a bet. AKA Snack Miller. I'm playing hot potato on a Winnebago. The chips are still taste okay when they dip the queso. And what's an angel with a missing halo? She would drop out of school to take a trip to Dayglow. AKA, as soon as I can get to the motherfucker. Yeah. Ken Spliffy Jr. Spliffy will be hosting a charity softball game for the children in the morning and a smoke and swing event in the evening.
Nothing soft about this game. Only hard hits.
AKA the idiom savant. You know, I'm glad we had an ace up our sleeves for this week's episode. I've been stumbling over my words all episode.
Yeah, you have. It's okay. But that's the idiom.
Talk too goddamn fast. Bring home. AKA Hey, Stack West. I just don't understand why you can't handle this one by yourself. Because I hear she's not riding alone.
So you can't handle more than one person.
I can handle more than one person. Oh, chiquita. Up to a certain number. 4, 6, 8. This bitch got 10 bitches with her. And I can only deal with 3 putas in the open space. That's why I brought you guys along. Fair enough. Okay. You want to take them down easy, or you want to just fight them honest? Fight them. But they're just prostitutes. Prostitutes with weapons that can harm us. They can go too if they run. All right. Your mark, your lead. All right, follow me. Lupe Eduardo Pérez, puedes asmar porque estoy aquí y si tengo que asesinar a estas mujeres para llegar a ti, lo haré. Mis mujeres están desarmadas, señoras y señores. Ma'am, my friend here did not come alone, and your ladies most definitely were armed. Now you come out of here and do my lady friend here. Fine. But no interference for you too.
Of course. We'll be over here out of your way.
I've been waiting to shoot your pretty little mouth off since we came into town. Now drop. Talkative little harlot, isn't she? Sure. But couldn't you go for somewhere other than the heart? I fancy myself as a heartbreaker. Cute. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 164. And you know what that means. Next week is a bracket episode. What are we going to do for next week? I don't know. But Kenny came up with an idea that I can't remember. Kenny, what was that idea?
That idea was biggest NFL bus.
Yes. We get to talk about who was the most trash in the NFL ever. Can't wait.
Yeah. So send us all your trash suggestions for your trash memories of trash players. We're talking about the likes of Ryan Lee, Aaron Brooks, you know what I'm saying? Devin Thomas, JJ Arrington, Brian Bosworth.
Yes.
Some is a quarterback, Todd Baranovich.
Yes.
And so on and so forth. And of course, the ultimate number 1 seed, Jamarcus Russell.
I'm going to start this bracket tonight. That's how excited I am. He brought that up. And literally, the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, this is such a good idea. I can't wait to do this one. So, yeah, that's definitely what we're going to do next week. Until then, we off this.
We out.